And we're back on Second Street talking about how to fix Canada's immigration woes. Michael, we've certainly talked a lot about the problem. Can you tell us what we should be doing when it comes to setting that number in terms of how many people we let into the country? What needs to change with regards to that?
Well, I want to see two main things. First of all, the discussion of what that number should be and how it is set needs to be more transparent. I suggest a number around 200,000 because that has worked well in the past. It seems to be a number that can be well integrated into the country and to help to meet our economic needs also. This has to go hand in hand, I argue, with cutting off the supply of low wage, low skilled foreign labor, with the exception of a small number of industries in which it has proved to be effective and uncontroversial. The classic example
Hmm.
being seasonal agricultural work, for example. And it works well because it is seasonal. It doesn't result in a sort of endless, constant churn throughout the entire economy. Also, next, I want to see those different organs of government that oversee aspects of the labor market, housing, skills training, and and immigration working together. I want to see a more coherent
Hmm.
plan. Now, I've suggested that this could take the form of another ministry, sort of built out of the pieces of those which are now distributed amongst different departments and ministries in Ottawa. Alternatively, it could also be overseen by a committee of cabinet or some sort of office built into the prime minister's office. But I mean, these are questions about the machinery of government and how it would be overseen, which could be left to a
Hmm.
more in-depth public policy discussion. But the upshot has to be that those pieces of government start working together again and planning accordingly. Now, the final piece of this is one that has been very difficult to discuss within Canadian history so far, and that is the question of birth rates. How will our population grow without immigration? So far, that hasn't been the case
Hmm.
since about 1959. But birth rates, fertility, falling throughout the entire world, not just within Canada. This means that one day soon there will not be a large surplus of well educated, relatively young, highly skilled people seeking their fortune in Canada or anywhere else. We need to be prepared for this
Hmm.
because we will not have that stream, that sort of surplus of people to rely on, and without that, our population will shrink. It would have been shrinking throughout the 20th
Let's jump
century,
to the
but it was
solution. So what do we do to get more kids happening? What's your policy? Tomorrow, Prime Minister Carney appoints a ministry, says, I want more our birth rate to go up. What do you do? What's the policy?
well, this is something that is going to have to be looked into very carefully. I mean, there are countries all over the world that have been looking into this matter, working on solutions for at least since the mid 20th century. I'm thinking of Japan and Korea, for example. So far, nothing has worked. But that doesn't mean we should give up. We have to try, and
Hmm.
Canada should not be an exception.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. I don't think it's the entire solution, just given that it takes 18 years before, a child born today is entering the workforce at the earliest. But I
The
think
time
maybe
to have
there
started
could be
was
something
about 20
creative
years.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I totally agree. Okay, we got about 20 seconds. Any final thoughts?
I think that immigration can be, and it has been, a powerful tool for nation building. Canada has created a prosperous, happy country in the past, and it can be again. We just have to get this policy right.
Okay, thank you, Michael, for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Well, again, immigration is something that's largely worked well for this country for a long time, but we've clearly gone off the rails. If you want to read their full report, you can go to the Aristotle Foundation's website. Thanks for tuning in.